Hello everyone, I'm James Vigesaa, the Chairman of the Board for United Power. I'd like to welcome you to our 2020 annual meeting. It seems like we're just here at the annual meeting for last year yesterday, but you know, the year just flew by, and with that year, there's been a great deal of accomplishments that we've done at United Power. I'd like to introduce our acting CEO, Bryant Robbins.
Thanks, James. I've been your CEO for the last 6 weeks. However, I've been with this company for 17 years and been actively involved over the last 3 years. James, we had another outstanding year in 2019. I mean, there's a lot of projects we got done, a lot of technologies and things that better serve our members that we have put into place since the last time we met. And Frederick, the finishing up the purchase of the town of Frederick was one of our largest accomplishments in 2019. I'm proud to say that we were able to get all that taken care of almost as seamless as you could hope for. We got all 2,400 meters changed out. We've integrated them into our system, and to the best of my knowledge, we're off and running. It looks really good.
It's great having the town of Frederick, everybody there being actual members of United Power. In the past, since Frederick was a municipal power operation, we serviced them, but they didn't actually belong to United Power with the membership benefits that all the rest of our members get. And part of being in the community is the community outreach that we do, and looking forward to the involvement that we have in the community festivals and other town of Frederick activities. Along with getting Frederick integrated onto our system, another thing that we had underway last year was the build out and opening of our Carbon Valley Service Center. And the location of our Carbon Valley Service Center is 9586 East I-25 Frontage Road.
Well, James, right now we're fully staffed over there at this point in time. The facility, we was able to get it completed here just recently, just here in the last month, and we've got all of our staff there. We've got what I consider a world-class dispatch center over there. We're fully staffed with crews, engineers, designers. I can't tell you how valuable that's been for the audience here to remember the bomb cyclone. We had just relocated some employees over there. They've been there a couple of weeks, and we had put some material over there when that hit. If we hadn't have had those things in place, what we got on in 2 hours might have been 3 days, because if you remember, all the roads got shut down. So that's why the very next morning after the bomb cyclone, everybody else had 20,000 or more customers out, the other utilities across the Front Range. We had 23, not 2,300, we had 23. And it was because we had those people stationed over there. And ever since then, man, our outage time over there has been, it's been really good. I think it's been better than what we had hoped it would be. It's really exciting to see that thing get finished, and it's going to be a huge asset to that area over there.
You know, one of the numbers that really sticks in my mind is that since 2011, we've had 77% of load growth onto our system. And along with that load growth and demand, we've also grown about 3% in the number of meters every year. 3% growth, it puts us into one of the fastest growing cooperatives in the country. But it's not only growth, that goes hand in hand with our system reliability. One of the things that's really impressed me, Bryant, ever since we've brought you down from the mountains and had you work here in the plains, is the enhancement you've done to our reliability.
Well, thank you, James, for the nice comments. When I came down at the very start of 2017, our 2017 numbers on reliability was dead average. Across the United States, the average outage time for all members of any electric utility was 118 minutes. United Power's in 2017 was 118 minutes. We could not have been more average. We have changed how we do business here at United Power, all in an effort to increase our reliability. Our goal is to be best in class. And I'm proud to say I've got a tremendous group of employees here who bought into the new system, a new way of doing business. And in that first year, we dropped our outages 40+%. And we actually didn't get done what we had hoped would get done from a maintenance standpoint. What we thought would take 6 weeks took 6 months, so we had a lot of work to do. But I am very proud to say that 2018 dropped it 40%. This past year we dropped it an additional amount, and right now we're in the top 10% across the nation as far as reliability. And here's the great thing is we've just got started. We're going to get even better as we move forward. So, but there's a lot of folks in our organization to thank for that, and we take our reliability to our members very seriously.
You know, Bryant, along with the reliability that is reducing the duration of outages that we've also been recognized in a recent magazine article about how we operate our system as a smart grid.
Yes, sir, and that's a great comment about that. I mentioned earlier about our technology. Again, we're out in front of most of utilities in our technology. And what James is referring to on our smart grid is really automation. We had an outage happen back in November up in our mountain district, our mountain area, and because of the equipment we had in place, it isolated where the outage was, switched everything around, got everybody's power back on, and did this in about a minute. So the lineman never had to go out. We were able to go out the very next day during normal business hours, because it was in very rugged territory, and find the issue and the problem, and let the system handle the restoration of the outage, for the previous night. It affects our safety. It affects obviously the interruption to the member or to the customer here, and it just happened. The system is set up just to make it happen. We're new into that area. It's something we're taking very slow because of safety reasons. But that one example that I just gave, that's huge, and we're hoping to expand that throughout our system.
You know, Bryant, you mentioned how our smart grid really helps us with safety. You know, safety is the most important thing to us at United Power. You know, we want everybody to go home at the end of the day safe and in one piece to their families. You know, one notable milestone that we've reached on safety here at United Power is that we had gone 843 days without a lost time injury. You know, and that's just an incredible safety record in this hazardous industry.
Yeah, James, and I really appreciate you pointing that out, because safety is our #1 priority at United Power, both for our employees and for the public. So we're very proud of that accomplishment. Speaking of safety, I know everybody's aware of maybe some of the things that went on out in California this year with some fire issues and power lines. This year we put together both a plan and a policy to address the importance of that issue as we've seen take place out in California. Now, we feel like we're way ahead of a lot of utilities here along the Front Range. We've been changing our standards of how we do business. We look to go underground if we can, but it's kind of hard to do that up in a very rocky situation up in the mountains. So what you're seeing going on up there now is we're installing something that's called Hendrix cable. It's a covered cable that if you come in contact with it, both trees, wildlife, and even human beings, it greatly protects against any type of a spark, or in this case, an injury to a person. So we've just started that installation. All new overhead construction in our mountains is utilizing this kind of construction, and in doing so, we're hoping that that's going to be a huge asset to us as we implement this fire mitigation plan. If you're interested in what our plan says, go to unitedpower.com. I think it's under the safety label, and it talks about and it shows and gives you what we're talking about as far as a fire mitigation plan. There's also some links there on what you as a member can do on your own that protects against a fire hazard up in your area.
You know, one of the reasons why we're all here at an annual meeting is because we're a cooperative. And that means that you as the members are the owners of our company. And part of being the cooperative is that we have a foundation of 3 things: to provide power that is safe, affordable, and reliable. We've talked about safety, we've talked about reliability. Now we need to talk about affordability. That is one of our biggest challenges right now, is the affordability of our power supply. And what we're trying to do, between the board and the employees, is to obtain the most affordable power supply that we can for our members. And how we're approaching that is really almost an all of the above policy, whether it's integrating more renewables into our system, using our battery to try to shave peak load costs. And also, just looking into what our wholesale power costs are and what other opportunities are there out there to obtain a better value for our members in our wholesale power costs.
Great points, James. I just think we need to point out to our members here that for every dollar you send in, 75% out of that dollar goes to pay our power bill. And we just feel like we owe it to our members to provide them with the most affordable power that we can. Having said that, you're going to see some things floating around out there in the media about what we're doing at United Power to make that happen. Just know at the end of the day, we're just trying to meet our members' needs. And as James talked about on the safety and reliability, the affordability of it, the only way we can make that happen is to do what we've been doing. And we're just trying to provide that to our members. One of the plans that we're going to be looking for in 2020 is an electric vehicle plan. And hopefully this plan works for everybody, those who both want to buy one and those who don't want to buy one. And what I think our plan will look like, it will obviously incentivize those who want one. At the same time, we want to make that plan work for everybody. Right now, if everybody comes home at 6 o'clock and plugs in their electric vehicle, our power bill is going to get really high really quick. But if we can incentivize those who want an electric vehicle and give us control or partial control over their charger and have the ability to spread that high demand out over the other 22, 23 hours, and what that does is actually maybe even stabilize or even potentially reduces the cost for everybody.
One of the things that really jumped out at me is plugging in that electric car battery causes a demand about twice as much as all the rest of the appliances in the house together.
Well, it does. And here's what a normal house with gas would normally use. It's about 4 kW or 4,000 watts. You add a battery charger, and depending on which brand it is, it's anywhere from 7 to 11 kW additional to what you're already using. Which, if you get enough of those that do that, then next thing you know, your system's going to be stressed pretty hard and heavy. So our hope is to be able to gain control over that charger and allow us to spread that out, that the charger owner is not aware that we've even done it, and it's at the same time still allows him or her to charge up their vehicle, but it allows us to spread it out on our system, so the impact to our system is much less than what it would be if they were all running at the same time. James, at the end of the day, as both a board member and the board chair, representing these members out here in the audience, what do you want to see us accomplish at United Power?
Well, the most important thing to all of us, board members, employees, everybody, is that our focus needs to be on that member out there at the end of the line. Everything that we do needs to enhance the safety, affordability, and reliability for that member.
Thank you, Bryant.
Thank you, sir.